How flat hierarchies can discourage women applicants. Abstract. This article explores how flattened, team-oriented organizational structures aimed at boosting flexibility, collaboration, and innovation may unintentionally make it harder for women to navigate career opportunities and progression. Through a review of relevant academic literature, the article examines research showing that flattened hierarchies tend to de-emphasize clear career ladders, rely more heavily on informal networks, and reward aggressive self-promotion, all factors that can place women at a systematic disadvantage compared to their male counterparts due to entrenched gender biases and norms. The article then proposes evidence-based strategies for mitigating these deterrents, such as formally defining career lattices, implementing sponsorship programs, providing implicit bias training, and distributing recognition equitably across teams. Case studies of technology companies adopting such practices demonstrate how intentional efforts have yielded success expanding representation while sustaining innovative cultures. The article aims to equip practitioners with research-grounded solutions for broadening opportunities for women within collaborative work structures. Over the past few decades, many organizations have moved away from rigid, top-down hierarchies towards flatter, collaborative structures that break down silos and empower employees. While this emergence of flat hierarchies intended to encourage flexibility, innovation, and employee satisfaction, some research suggests that these structures may unintentionally discourage women from applying or staying in certain roles and industries. Today we will explore the research foundation behind how flat hierarchies can potentially deter women, as well as practical recommendations and examples for how companies can maximize both the collaborative benefits of flattened structures while also appealing to diverse talent pipelines. Flattened structures and women's careers. Traditional vertical hierarchies provided clear career ladders and paths to advancement. However, research shows that women often face more obstacles progressing through rigid, linear career tracks compared to their male counterparts. Sandberg, 2013. Flattened structures aim to break down such barriers by distributing authority and decision-making across collaborative teams. While well-intentioned, some studies indicate flat hierarchies may unintentionally make it more difficult for women to gain visibility, sponsorship, and career growth opportunities. Carter and Silver, 2010. Specifically, research has found that certain industries that have widely adopted flattened structures, such as tech, also tend to have low representation and high attrition rates for women. Weinberger, 2011. Studies across sectors point to three main ways flat hierarchies can deter women: lack of clearly defined career paths. Without traditional linear progression up management tiers, it can be less transparent how to take on expanding roles and responsibilities in flat structures. Research shows women place higher value on clearly defined career frameworks compared to men. Carter and Silver, 2010. A lack of roadmaps can make it harder for women to see future opportunities. Greater emphasis on informal networks, in flattened teams. Promotions and new opportunities often arise more organically through relationships and sponsorships cultivated in informal networks. However, studies show women face systemic barriers navigating and participating fully in such informal networks compared to men. Sandberg, 2013. Bias towards aggressive self-promotion, in more egalitarian, collaborative cultures where authority is decentralized, self-promotion of one's accomplishments and skills becomes a key driver of visibility and opportunities. However, research finds societal biases often penalize women more harshly for coming across as overly self-promoting compared to identical behavior from men. Bear et al., 2010. Mitigating deterrence through intentional design. While flattened structures aim to dissolve hierarchies, research indicates that some thoughtfully designed hierarchy and structure remain important elements in supporting women's careers. Companies should consider the following practices: clearly define career lattices, while not as linear as rigid ladders. Providing clear career frameworks showing expanding breadth of exposure and impact over time can give women tangible models of career growth. Frameworks should outline various experimental paths and intersections across roles, teams, levels, and sectors within an organization. Carter and Silver. 2010. Formalize mentorship and sponsorship programs, intentionally matching high-potential women with senior advocates through structured programs helps women gain guidance, visibility, and sponsorship benefits often accrued more organically by men in informal networks. Sandberg. 2013. Successful programs, like Intel's Brilliant Project, pair mentees with mentors incentivized to help them expand opportunities. Provide implicit bias training for hiring managers. Research shows both men and women exhibit unconscious biases questioning women's fit and potential in male-dominated, stereotypically masculine roles and industries like tech. Weinberger. 2011. Mandatory training helps hiring managers recognize and counteract such biases when evaluating women candidates and employees. Implement flexible work arrangements. Flattened collaboration depends more heavily on constant interaction and perceived availability that can disadvantage women juggling family responsibilities more often than men. Flexible work arrangements signal to women the company understands the importance of work-life integration and values diverse experiences. Williams. Blair Lowy and Birdell. 2013. Distribute recognition broadly across teams, while self-promotion should not be discouraged. Finding other ways to give equitable visibility to all members' contributions helps address biases penalizing women's self-advocacy. Distributing peer-to-peer recognition awards across all teams spotlights diverse achievement. Case studies. Technology companies advancing diversity. Large technology organizations at the forefront of flat, collaborative cultures share how intentional efforts broadened representation while sustaining innovation. At Intel, cross-team projects encourage employees to work beyond roles and divisions. However, research found most leaders of such cross-functional projects tended to recruit from their existing homogeneous networks, risking opportunities only flow to certain groups. Intel responded by launching its Brilliant Project, mandating each leader consider high-potential women and minorities when staffing projects. In just 2 years, representation of women in leadership of cross-team projects tripled from 10% to 30%. Sandberg. 2013. Another tech giant, Cisco, realized self-selective networking events often excluded diverse perspectives crucial to building products for a multicultural world. It now requires all internal events explicitly foster representation and inclusion. For example, Tech Talk conferences follow an Open Plus format, where at least 30% of presenters must be women or people from underrepresented racial ethnic groups. As a result, women and minority employees report feeling welcomed and motivated to contribute innovative ideas that better serve global users. Stockdale et al. 2019. eBay observed high attrition rates for technical women once they reached mid-level roles with intensive collaboration demands. To address work-life fit concerns, it piloted results-only work environments giving flexible schedules at those critical experience levels. Surveys found this simple experiment reduced stress and burnout for technical women, who now stay in challenging roles at twice the industry retention rate. Williams. Blair Lowy and Birdell. 2013. Conclusion. As organizations continue shifting towards flattened, team-oriented cultures, focus on representation should remain a priority given societal influences that can unintentionally deter diverse talent pipelines. However, the examples above demonstrate how intentional practices supporting mentorship, sponsorship, work flexibility, and inclusive networking can broaden opportunities for women within collaborative structures. With proactive efforts, companies at the forefront of flattened hierarchies are advancing both innovation and equitable representation that will strengthen their talent competitiveness for years to come.